Christine Conrad, and you are watching an episode on innovative Tac-Tips, tactic and tips. And I'm with the lovely Liz Logan. She is a channel leader at 911 Secure. Thank you, Liz, for being here. I would love if you could tell the viewers, listeners, all of the above, who are you and how did you get where you are today?
Hey, Christine. Thank you so much for having me. So I'm Liz. I am the channel manager for 911 Secure, and I actually haven't been in the tech world for a long time. So I started out, I graduated college in 2017 with a communications degree. And all through college, I worked at a hair salon. And so while working at a hair salon, I got my hair license. I started doing hair. And then there's a special number 26, that when you turn 26, your parents, if you're lucky to be on your parents' insurance for that long, um, that you get kicked off. So my mom and I was living at home for a little bit after I got out of college and was working at the hair salon. And my mom basically told me, all right, I love you, but let's figure out what else we can do to make you some money and get you some insurance. So, anyways, long story short, I started scouting. I looked for anything and everything that I could find because I didn't know what I should do with a communications degree and then also having a hairstylist license. Just weird. But so I found on Indeed, became a leasing agent at an apartment complex, which then I worked my way up to apartment manager and or apartment assistant manager. And working there gifted me the opportunity to meet somebody who I work with today. She's very near and dear to my heart, and I'm so thankful I met her. She is actually the director of technical support at 911 Secure. So she was living at the apartments that I was managing or helping manage, and she came into the office one day and said, "Liz, I think you should apply to do what I'm doing, or like to be a part of our team here at 911 Secure." And I was like, "Debbie, no, I do not have technical skills. I'm like in this, I'm just in a different world. No, like I don't know telephony. I don't know telecommunications. I'm just not, that's just not who I am." But, anyways, I took a leap. I got the interview with them and I started out as tech support, went to project management. And then Kevin Keto, the director of sales and president of 911 Secure, asked me to start this position as channel manager for 911 Secure. So it'll be 3 years this year. And it's crazy to think 3 years I've been in this tech world, but it's just been a lovely ride since. So
I like a non-traditional story because not everyone can decide what they want to do right out of college, especially in college. I think I have a few friends of mine, colleagues that changed their majors a couple times. I got a bachelor's in marketing communications, so same, but different, right? Like to
right.
throw the marketing piece in there. And when I graduated, I was like, I got into sales right away, right? But I navigated back into the creative world and got picked up by a telecommunications company. And I was like, what is this? And then did I ever
Yep.
think that I would still be in it? No, I thought again, and then I worked for a professional sports team, and then, anyways, and then here we are. So it's weird how life throws. I don't know if I want to use the cliche lemons or all that stuff, but you like make the best out of the experiences that you encounter, and that's really,
Absolutely.
to me, we would have never gotten the opportunity to cross paths
Yeah.
at channel partners, not this year because it's running right now, but a couple years ago. I don't want to
Yes.
date that, but anyways, well, cool. I guess from that, is there a memorable moment of your career, or since you started 911 Secure so far, that has been pretty impactful to who you are today?
Yeah, so there's been a couple of experiences. So what we do at 911 Secure is we're dedicated to saving lives. So we provide emergency management software that helps companies and enterprises and government organizations solve for Carries Law and Rape Bombs Act. So like I said, we're dedicated to saving lives. So one of the most memorable moments I will have to say is just hearing stories from Kevin and people who have worked with 911 Secure about how our product works and actually help save lives, right? Because we can vouch for our product and we can believe in our product, and we can be out there and marketing our product, but at the end of the day, knowing that we have helped save lives, that is probably the most memorable, of being in this at 911 Secure. But being in my role as
Mhm.
a channel manager, a channel leader, and meeting partners and people, I will say one of the biggest moments is meeting you at Channel Partners, because you are just a ray of sunshine and you introduced me to so many incredible people. And I just want to say, meeting people like you and partners and creating that relationship, that is the most memorable part of my job, because these relationships really help shape, inform, and help people grow. How you really helped me grow and gain confidence in what I do. And I just, yeah, that was one of the most memorable things that I will say, being
Thank
in
you.
being
Yeah,
in this side.
I think
So
I think I think you're wonderful, and I think the way that you interact with partners um, throughout the ecosystem, I think is it's a breath of fresh air. It's a breath of fresh air because a lot of the time, sometimes businesses are very, I got to hit numbers, I got to hit my quota, I
mhm.
got to hit all these things, right? But I think in your perspective and just be engaging with partners, it's you have their best interests at heart, and but I mean mutual, right? 911 Secure, and then their uh best interests. And so I think that's we need more of that. We do need more
Yeah,
of that. So thank you for that. Uh,
absolutely.
what's been a favorite failure of yours, or attempted failure, right? That's set you up later for success.
So there are a couple things there too, but um, I think one of the biggest failures is when I first started this role. Was still trying to test out the waters and still trying to figure out what I was supposed to do and what is a channel manager, right? And so I remember telling a few people, like, I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm scared, like I'm new, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, right? And so I want to say, after having those conversations with people and saying sorry and saying I'm new, and then being like, stop saying you're new, stop saying sorry, stop
Mm-hmm.
being so not confident in yourself, right? And I think that's been one of my favorite failures, is starting out like that, because it has
Mm-hmm.
allowed me to grow and learn and to be more confident in my position and in my role, and just to learn more about how we can expand our partner network and collaboration network and innovate and grow as a team, right? So I do think those little moments in the beginning of my tech career,
Mm-hmm.
and saying sorry and saying I'm new,
Mm-hmm.
it really helped me grow. So I do think that was one of my favorite failures. So I can look back and
Mm-hmm.
reflect. So it's okay to be new and it's okay to be sorry, but you have to have that confidence and you have to learn how to handle certain situations. So yeah, that was probably have to be my most memorable for
My
sure.
grandpa, my grandpa, to add value to that, my grandpa told me, he's like, you got to start somewhere. You got to start
Yeah,
somewhere,
you
and
do.
a lot of people have started somewhere, and if you can admit that and you can acknowledge it, I think it speaks volume from a character perspective, because a lot of people, it's an insecurity thing, right? Like looking like you don't know something, right? I think that that's once you admit
Mhm.
that you don't know everything, I think that is a golden ticket into this professional arena. I just think like the more that you can admit, um, not wrongdoings, but just like admit that like, okay, I could do better next time. Because I just had a conversation
Mhm.
with a board member who's a former C-level CEO, and he's like, you got to make mistakes to grow. You have to, like, you have to
100%.
gain that wisdom and that experience. And so, yeah, no, I think that that's a good character trait, a good
Thank
character,
you.
great
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
So if you had a billboard that was that reached billions and billions of people, because there's a lot of people on this planet. I keep forgetting that I think it's over 6 billion. I gotta look. I gotta Google that, or I have to do research. But what um, what message would you put on that billboard?
Always be true to yourself. Always be true to yourself. That would be my one message. And maybe always be true to yourself, but we all put our pants on the same way each morning. Just because I know that's not something everybody wants to hear, but I think one of the reasons why I'm not so confident sometimes in my role is because I look at people who have been in the industry and even in life, right? I look at everybody in life and I'm like, oh my gosh, you've gotten here and you've gotten here. And I tend to compare myself to everybody. And while it's very valuable to hear people's opinions and experiences in the industry and in life, I always have to remind myself, always be yourself. And they put their pants on the same way you do each morning. And so I have to be able to sit back and say, all right, this is the first, maybe this is their first time doing something like this, or maybe I can use that experience with them to learn and
Mhm.
grow even further. So I think that would be
Yeah.
my one thing. I don't, yeah.
No, yeah. I also I want to add to that. Experience is great, right? But wealth and knowledge is great, but also when you have so much experiences, you tend to not see the nuances
Hmm.
of the market and like the 10-year learning curves, like every 10 years, right? Like there's usually a big learning curve. So I
Right.
think with you having I have a little bit of eclectic background as well, but when you have those type of experiences, you can actually apply them in areas that don't have never been applied before. So you're
Right.
kind of like a hidden unicorn.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
I
I
don't
know
know. You
that.
know,
I
it's
know
amazing.
that like when I was working at the hair salon, I started as just a assistant receptionist, right? And then I grew my way up to become a hairstylist. But I just remember um, she's also very near and dear to my heart. She is the owner of the salon that I worked at, Kathy Adams Salon, and she always complimented me and said, "You are always true to yourself, and that's one trait that I love about you. And I'm not afraid." She's like, "You're not afraid to make mistakes. You're not afraid to put yourself out there. You're not afraid to go. You're not afraid to be a go getter, right?" And I think she helped inspire some of that within that kind of lit my fire too, right? So there's all these little things and people and consolidation of words and wisdom and experience, right? But at the end of the day, you have to be true to yourself and just be who you are and have that light or have that just be you. I guess is
I
what
get
I'm trying
this.
to say. Is just be
Yeah.
you.
Like I heard this thing about like being a glow stick, right? Like just be your glow stick, right? Like I mean, you have to break a couple times. Obviously, like not in the extreme, right? Like we don't have actual break, we're like like we're fragile packages.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, be a glow stick, right? And no, I appreciate that. So last question for you. Where can people find out more about you?
So I'm on LinkedIn. You can just look up Liz Logan Atlanta on LinkedIn. I live right outside of Atlanta, so I kind of just put that in my LinkedIn. So Liz Logan Atlanta, or you can email me lizlogan at 911secure.com. Easy peasy. And yeah, so LinkedIn or email.